I'm on the case.
Ace Detective.
Alright, welcome everyone to another installment of KOUSHIRO Investigates. We are moving into the 6th generation now with Pokemon X. And today we're going to be talking about a feature that's been around since the 1st generation, critical hits. And see if they're the same in this generation as they have been for the last couple of generations. First off, we're going to introduce our team. Going to use 2 PP ups here actually. We have, we're going to be using Shadow Claw as our move that we're going to be using for the crits. We have Crits Are Us, the level 28 Absol, and we also have level 77 Gardevoir named Andros. That's who we're going to be using today. Before we actually get underway, I guess, I'm going to show you guys a thing really quick. We're going to put Andros in here, and we're going to use this reset bag. So what this does is, in the past, we've had the EV berries, the series from the Pomeg berry down to the Tomato berry, and if you had over 100 EVs in a stat, those would, the first time you use it, it would reduce you down to 100. And then after that, it would reduce it by 10 for each time you used the berry. So this was a little bit of a slow way, I guess, to eradicate your EVs. But now with X and Y, we have the super training. It's a nice way to increase your EVs without having to do the monotonous grind, I guess. You get kind of a nice little action-packed minigame to play instead. It's pretty fun. And as well, we have this reset bag. There's also a juice that does the same thing, but with the reset bag, pay attention to the numbers over here. Really quick, base stats have been reset, and watch the numbers that are going to pop up. You guys see that? I'm not actually 100% sure, but I think if you total those up, it should be 510. So it actually shows the EVs that are being decreased by doing the reset there. So that way you can kind of check your EV spread, and that's kind of cool. Actually being able to see the numbers if you forget what your EVs do, or excuse me, if you forget what your exact EV spread is, you can just save your game, do one of those really quick, and then go from there. So we're going to go into a double battle here, and this is actually one of the worst double battles I could have picked for this, because these guys have Growl and Tail Whip, I believe. So we do, however, have X items, so we can adjust for that, and fix our attacks back up. Jen and Aaron, so we got double Furfros, and we're going to send out our Absol and Gardevoir. So every turn we're going to be using Night Slash with Absol, which is super effective to Gardevoir. And we're going to be having to keep tabs on some stuff here. So we're going to be using Shadow Claw on Andros. And then Gardevoir is going to do various things. We're going to use Psychic, I guess, on the female Furfro. So we're going to take one of them out, so we only have to deal with one attack per turn. Alright, so here comes the big thing here. We have to get some meaningless experience. We have to check and see how much damage this is going to do. Use a Shadow Claw, knocks us down to 179. That was not a crit, and lowers our defense. Alright, so because that lowered our defense, also lowered the Gardevoir's defense, so that's a problem. So we're going to continue to hit with that, and then we're going to use an X defense on Gardevoir to patch that up. So we take the same damage, -1/+1. And he got knocked down to 137 there. That was a crit. Used Headbutt. Alright, so we're at 133. Always got to make sure we keep track of what the move was. So we're just going to use Calm Mind. It's not going to affect the damage at all, since we're buffing special defense and we're hitting on the physical side. So we're going to collect some data points here. It's basically what we're doing. And then we're going to analyze afterward. Just want to make sure that you guys see the data being collected here. Looks like that was not a crit, I believe. Or was it? Some of this I may have to go back and in editing and confirm the details of. But anyway, we're going to do that again. Looks like we got headbutted, so we'll just Calm Mind up. Absol, of course, has Super Luck, so we should be able to get crits roughly 50-50 with the high crit move. Shadow Claw knocks us down to 73. That is not a crit. Uses Headbutt. Alright, still got 73 HP. Shadow Claw on the Gardevoir, and we'll just Calm Mind up again. Alright, go down from 73 to 45. No critical hit. Just Headbutt. Down to 41. Alright, so we're going to heal back up to 207 actually. With a Hyper Potion. You heard the new critical sound there. It's quite nice. It just plays the siren for a few notes and then lets you go about your business. Doesn't annoy you. And doesn't change the battle music at all, which is nice. Probably the best critical sound effect that we've ever done. So it knocks us down to 171. That was a crit. Used Headbutt. Very monotonous process here. We're just gathering data. So we're at 167. Just going to Calm Mind up. We have the text speed to slow so that I can look away at my spreadsheet and then look back and hopefully not miss anything. Alright, uses Shadow Claw, knocks down to 131. That was a crit. Used Headbutt. Headbutt is the best attack it can use because it means we don't have to waste time using X items or anything like that. I guess we're not really wasting time, but especially since Calm Mind takes longer to go through than an X item does. But still, we have to go and select it, so... So we're just going to keep measurements of damage. Alright, 127 goes down to 101. Not a crit. Tail Whip, that's going to lower our defense, so we need to use another X Defend on Gardevoir. However, we're just going to keep using Shadow Claw. Have 101 HP. Right, so we want to make sure to X Defense on Gardevoir. Knocked down to 65 HP. That was a crit. Uses Headbutt. Alright, we're in Shadow Claw. Just gonna Calm Mind again. 65 HP. And down to 37. We're down to 33. So that means we're actually going to go back up to 207. We're going to use a Hyper Potion. Alright, and we go down to 165. That was a crit. Headbutt. Alright, so we're going to Shadow Claw. I'm actually going to heal up the other guy right quick. Make sure he doesn't die. It's a little bit above the Furfrows, but not wholly. Alright, get knocked down to 137. No crit, Headbutt. Still at 137. Just gonna Calm Mind. I got knocked down to 109. We're at 105. Just gonna waste more turns. Down to 65. Critical hit. Also, if the video does cut out at any time, it's because this camcorder's battery is terrible. You guys have hopefully seen enough data points collected by now that you'll be able to trust me for the rest of them. Should it come to that. I'm actually going to... Nah, we can tank that. $65 down to 25. Was a crit. Just headbutt. So we're gonna have Gardevoir at 207 because we're in a hyper potion. It's got 6 more Shadow Claws to go. And again, we will be summarizing all this data. We're gonna cut after the data collection. We're gonna cut over to my computer screen where I'll show you guys the spreadsheet. Right down to 167. That was a crit. Alright, use Tail Whip, so we're gonna have to fix our defenses. However, Absol is just gonna continue to do that. Next defense, gonna need to use that on Gardevoir. Start the round with 167 HP. Down to 139. Not a crit. Using Headbutt. Alright. Shadow Claw Gardevoir again. And we'll throw a Soda Pop over at Absol. Almost done collecting data. We PP'd up twice, so we should have 21 data points by the end of all this. Down to 97. That was a crit. Headbutt, good. Down to 93. Just gonna Calm Mind up. And Shadow Claw knocks us down to 55. That was a crit. Tail Whip. Just a minor annoyance. Shadow Claw again. And we will patch up our defense on Gardevoir. Starting the round at 55. Goes down to 19. That was a crit. Tail Up again. This is actually a problem. We're going to have to interrupt the turn. We're going to have to use a turn to heal as well as X-Defend. So, bad combination of moves playing out there. Just going to go ahead and Hyper Potion. Picked a really bad turn to... And that is why I just ordered a new battery for that camcorder. Anyway, I think we got enough data points. We got 20 of them, which is pretty much enough. And before we do that, here's the 6 values that popped up for that training bag down for the EV zeroed out thing. Just to show you guys what it sums up to. And yep, sums up to 510. So that is the max EVs, of course. So there you go. You can use that to check your EV totals if you want to use that. So first thing we're going to do is sort this group of data right here. We're going to put it in sort by crit yes or no. And there we go, just to get all the non-crits up here and all the actual crits down here. So then we're going to take, for this thing, we're going to do equals A2, that's the start HP, minus B2, that's the end HP. And see how much damage we took. Let's look at how much we did for all the non-crits. So it looks like it was fairly consistent at 28. I know I've gathered a couple of data points off camera, and usually it was somewhere between 24 and 26, or 24 to 28. 26 is typically the average, but just for the sake of the data we have here, 28, it's going to be, you know, we would expect a critical hit to do up to 56. Maybe if it was down toward 24, which we didn't actually see any 24s, we would expect it to do somewhere between 48 and 56. So somewhere in the low 50s range here. But anyway, So now let's actually take this, and I believe this is a yes. I don't know why it's showing up weird. But anyway, let's take this and extend this down here. Let's see how many 50s and whatnot we get. And, oh, hey. Well, I don't see very many 50s right there. We see some 42s, 36s, and 40s. What's up with that? Well, if we look at our calculations here, you know, one of our hypotheses was, that I don't know if I stated, was that critical hits aren't ×2 anymore. They're something less. So maybe something like ×1.5. That would make sense. You know, 28 times 1.5 is 42. We hit a couple of 42s. 26 times 1.5 is 39. So, you know, I guess we could say 40. 24 even. We didn't hit any of those, but 24, that would be 36. We had a couple of those. So, yeah, based on this evidence that we've gathered right here, granted this isn't the most number of data points we could have gathered, but it's a fairly sizable amount, I think. Yeah, that's enough for me to conclude that critical hits are no longer ×2. In fact, they are ×1.5. And there is actually one little bit of game evidence to corroborate this, which is the moves Frost Breath and Storm Throw, I believe that's what it's called. They are the two moves that automatically score critical hits, and they have their base power raised from 40, you know, so basically 80 with the crit, up to 60, which would have been 120 with the crit. When you had Blizzard getting downgraded to 110, you know, it kind of didn't make sense. Well, this kind of makes it make sense, because with 60 base power, it's now effectively a 90 power move, which ties Ice Beam, which is now 90 power. So that seems a lot more fair and balanced to me, and that definitely justifies, I think, why the base power was increased. So yeah, there you go. I mean, you guys saw the data being collected, and here you see it being analyzed. So if you have any counterpoints and any other reason to think that this is not the case, certainly do let me know. But until further contradictory evidence arises, looks like critical hits are ×1.5, guys. So I actually haven't seen this confirmed or mentioned anywhere else, Cerebi, Bulbapedia, anywhere as of the time of this filming. And I guess as of this posting, it's going to go up right away. So, yeah, very interesting stuff. Should make Nuzlocke a lot easier. Hacks should play less of a role. Overall, very good change. I like it. You know, still gives you obviously it still pierces through defense boosts. So, you know, getting a crit's always nice, doing a little bit of extra damage. But now they're not going to be quite as game-changing if this is indeed true. So, thanks for watching, guys. And, yeah, look forward to less battles decided by hacks, hopefully. So, see you guys next time for more KOOPER Investigates. Later days. Case closed. Let's eat pizza.